No. Alrighty. Let me turn these phones on silent real fast. Okay, dope. Alright, so roll call. So I think we're just missing Ann for today. And then I sent everybody the minutes, even though I did have a little typo on there when I sent them to you. I did get that corrected. But we'll need to approve the minutes, so we'll need a first for that. And then a second.
Second.
All right. Good there. Alrighty, so just for some old business real quick, Eric, do you mind kind of giving us the rundown on where we're at as far as the Davy Group goes?
Okay, regarding the Urban Forestry Master Plan, the most important update we have is that we're soon going to be distributing a public outreach survey to begin the process of incorporating public input and guidance regarding that master plan. So keep an eye out on the socials for the notice when we put it up. We're also strategizing on some locations for where we might be able to put out some paper copies so that people can take it in hand and fill it out right there. I know that one of the ideas was at our community outreach meeting, which is going to be on February the 26th between 5 and 7 p.m. at the community center. Do you know what room yet?
It'll be in the event room. It's the Conway.
Can you say that day again? February what?
February the 26th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And it would be really great if as many of us could be there as possible.
Yes, we want everybody that can come.
And try to get,
come.
your friends, neighbors, especially if you happen to live in any of the areas that we're working.
Yeah, I know that what we've been doing with the plan so far has been kind of like Greek to a lot of people, but this is the perfect time to come and learn more about it, get more involved, and make sure that we're steering things the way that you want them to go as well. So it'd be a good idea to come out. Again, that's at the community center, February 26th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And you should see our public outreach survey go live soon. Has everybody in the meeting had a chance to review that?
It's gonna look like this. I mean, if anyone wants the actual QR code to kind of get an idea of what's on there, you can scan this. This is the latest little picture here. Feel free to pass it down if you'd like.
The last I checked, it's ready to go live as well.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting on Bobby to post. I don't know. I'll get with Bobby and see if he wants to post it first, or if he wants the tree board to post it and then the city share it, or how they want to kind of execute that.
Okay, just keep us updated on that. We'll get it taken care of. And then we are finished with the tree inventory. We had Reed going through town and inventorying every tree on public land in the city of Conway in our target areas. And the total came up, we didn't quite get to the 5,000 that we were hoping for, but it was 4,231 trees that we were able to get a look at, log their location on the map, get a basic idea of the condition of the tree. Reed even made some recommendations about whether any action was needed to preserve it or remove it. Over 80% were rated fair or good condition, which is great news. And only 262 of those were recommended for removal. So that's also great news. If anybody's interested, the most common type was crepe myrtles, of course. Everybody loves a crepe myrtle. Does anybody have any questions about any of that so far? I just jotted this all down pretty quick while ago, so I'm looking over it, I'm sorry.
No, it's perfect. And then is it?
We have more crepe myrtles on public land than.
Well, we're not comparing public versus private, we're just logging the ones that are on public land. We just have a ton.
You just have a lot of, I mean, you think about downtown, cause it was one of the areas.
And any of the street
All the street
right-of-ways,
trees.
Oh, okay. I think of that as more like people's yards and stuff, but I guess.
Tracy had some notes to add too. She said that, this is important, we need a tagline for the campaign to help with marketing. So as we're starting our public outreach portion of this campaign, a tagline would be very handy to have, something that we can refer back to, maybe hashtag, maybe frequently use so that it stays on the public's mind.
Speak for the trees.
Yes,
This is your chance to speak for the trees.
Yeah, something like that. So if you don't have anything right now, be thinking about that so that we can come up with it soon. Email your ideas. Definitely stay in touch. I was wanting to ask Skylar, are our two new members, Jonathan and Clayton, added to the Davies?
Honestly, I'm actually looking that up right now.
Okay.
Because I don't think they have been. here. I'm gonna go ahead and forward this to Clayton and Jonathan while we're here.
Perfect.
And then most of the meetings that we're having are on Wednesdays. So, I mean, obviously, if you have some work stuff going on, we understand if you can't make those. But this way we can try to keep you guys in the loop as much as possible.
And their e-meetings, they're on Teams. So,
Yeah, so
even if you've got like a little bit of time to spare and you can get on your computer, you don't have to travel. The last thing that Tracy wanted to add was that we'll need some stakeholder names soon to be added to the list because we're gonna start interviews for that, or Davey's gonna start interviews. I'm unclear about the process as far as the stakeholder incorporation is concerned, but she wanted me to add that note.
Yeah, that seemed like a group of people that weren't us. It was like a whole nother group that they were gonna add in there. I thought Ryan had a decent list, maybe Ann has that list now, but I know that before Ryan's departure, he had a good chunk of people that he was considering to introduce for that, so.
And
I
I've
think
got a
it would
note
be
that
good
says-
if we could get somebody from the school district.
I think,
Like
yeah, that's the,
Nathan
exactly the
Michael
kind of
and-
thing is like,
Like
not necessarily
that
people
stuff.
who were tree people, just
Yeah.
community
But it
people.
would pull in like parents and, I mean, hopefully get more activity.
The last note I have is that Logan and Ann were following up about possibly Conway Corp Utility bill inserts regarding this project
Survey, I think it's the
and
survey.
the survey potentially.
Yeah, that part's a little confusing. What exactly are you wanting? What kind of information are you wanting from Conway Corp on that?
They were wanting to check and see if it's doable to our target area, if there would be any cost associated with it that we would need to carry, and what the process would be to initiate that.
basically
And I think it
putting
would
in-
basically be this in a smaller, like something that would fit in the bill.
Yeah, we're just adding
Oh, just
a
adding-
flyer
just adding
basically
to
to their bill that you mail out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. You're done.
And then there was a certain target area that they were trying to hit, so we don't know if it's possible to just limit it to like that area or, you know, what Conway Corp would do with that. I think Bobby
We've
had
seen
sent
Reed's
us
maps
a
too, so
couple,
it'd be that area.
Bobby had sent us a couple different routes in an email. I can always forward those to you. I think he had 2 or 3 of them or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was basically a way to just do like direct mail for that area. So that way people who don't have like the internet or whatever or aren't internet savvy would still get a copy of the survey, especially those who survey is like impacting them the most.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's really the last update I have regarding the Davy meetings. Sure, I left some stuff out.
Yeah, this is really our time to be getting like public input for that plan. And I think it's, you know, I think that's a really important part of this, like, you know, we're the tree board and we have our ideas, but we need to know what the general public wants, feels like they need,
And I think
where they want to spend money, that sort of thing.
And I think it would be better if we became a more approachable branch of the city government as well. Most people that I talk to about the tree board don't even know that it exists. So the more outreach we can get, the more public involvement we can get in our processes, I think the more involved we'll become as an organization.
Cause even the people that know about us just think that we plant trees in their yards. Like, no.
Or that we regulate and we won't let them cut down a tree, or they have to get permission to plant a tree, and we don't.
Which that one doesn't throw me off too much, cause I know in other
other
cities,
cities,
like that is a
yeah.
common thing for a tree board, is you would ask about getting something removed or something, but that's not the case here.
You get when you close on a mortgage downtown, it's like a rider to your mortgage about like what trees you're allowed to plant. So I could say that would be.
Those are all
Well, that's only, I
portions,
think that's only because you're in the
Well,
historic.
it's the historic board, and so it's a little confusing.
those are all portions of what is considered urban forestry plans in other cities, especially some of the more affluent cities. They have some pretty strict codes about what can be removed, when it can be removed, what needs to be planted. So we need public outreach to let us know, you know, the pros and cons, people's opinions of things like that. Like how much do you want people to be involved in the city to be involved really in controlling what builders have to place or what they can remove in these areas? All of that's part of forestry plans. When you review the ones that Davies has reviewed, like in Portland, or there was a city in California, a lot of them have specific codes like that that Davies is used to kind of operating in and creating and helping to create.
And if that landscape ordinance taught us anything, people genuinely care.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is they just don't care until a decision is made and they're like, wait, I didn't know about that decision, I don't like that decision, can we change that? So getting that public outreach thing is very, very important.
So again, that meeting, the first meeting for public outreach, is where you can get in on the front here and start helping us to develop proper ideas, is February the 26th, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the community center.
Public invited.
Yes. What's next?
Do you wanna see if, Logan, do you wanna see if Conway Corp can run like just even if we just make up a graphic ad for it, for like a commercial?
Or any
Scroll or something.
a scroll
or-
might be nice.
I don't know if we have enough time or really need to go full blown with like a full blown commercial. I mean, Eric, you have that already nailed down if that was something that we needed to do.
I have my notes.
He's hounding his
At least if we did
skills.
like
As
the
long as I have
first,
my notes.
for that first one, we could probably just do a graphic and then I know we'll do another community outreach meeting. I know there's talks about at least two,
Yeah.
possibly a third. So maybe for that second one, we'd have enough time to actually do something like that. Cause then we obviously can, if we know that second meeting, we'll be able to kind of talk about that more with the spring tree thing as well. And then have another way to advertise there.
If you can send me a little, I don't know, summary about it.
What it is.
And then a lot of information I have written down, but just everything you want in there. I'm sure we can do a scroll or just like a single slide, commercial thing probably.
Sweet.
Is the survey supposed to come out before that meeting? Do we know?
That was up in the air, actually. As everybody in the email said that it was good to go, but Skylar said he's waiting for, he said, Bobby,
Yeah, but I didn't know if, I need to
I
ask
think
him
once
if
Bobby
he's
gives the
gonna post it or
go-ahead,
not.
I think we're ready. Everybody else is given the green light that's looked at.
Because in some ways, the Conway Corp thing could be both. It could be fill out our survey and attend our meeting.
There was some talk about having paper copies of the survey at the meeting too, so it wouldn't hurt to have the link out there before the meeting happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we get Jonathan and Clayton added on here.
Y'all know me, I always feel pressed for time because we only have, 10 meetings a year, maybe 9? So something that's 8 months away for me is just 8 days away.
True enough.
All right, our next thing up, this is where our little handouts will come in. So last year we did kind of get approval from City Hall and everything to do this Bradford Pear Bounty Program. So speaking of trees that people want to remove. The front page here is just that whole program kind of ran down and stuff like that as far as the details and stuff. This was what was submitted to Felicia and City Hall for approval. And so that way you'll know kind of what's in here. So what people are supposed to do is take a picture pretty much before and then after. So we may get some influx of people like being like, hey, is this a Bradford pear, depending on when they want to cut it down. We do not pay to cut it down. I wouldn't even give out suggestions or something like that. I would just say they need to find a tree removal thing of their own. That way nothing comes back to like, oh, well, someone from the city told me to use Joe Bob over here and then that tree hit my house or something. So we don't do anything like that, but then right now the tentative number is just 25 trees. So the first 25 people that do that we'll just do 1 tree per house there. So if you do have 3 or 4 of those on your property, we're only gonna kind of replace 1 out of this. But then they can always ask for another one from like the actual Arbor Day giveaway. If that becomes like a huge deal, say the first year we get like 30 or 40 or 50 people that want to do it, we can have a discussion as a group to decide if we want to go past that first 25 or how we want to do that. Because all of these trees will come out of our Arbor Day kind of tree giveaway. And that way, whenever they do plant something, number one, they'll be given it at a time where it's actually convenient to plant. And it'll be something that's already grown up enough to where the survivability rate is a little bit higher than just a seedling sapling deal.
And native.
Yes. So what we'll need to do, a big thing that we need to work on is just everybody getting involved with like either making graphics or doing some social media thing. I know people aren't all as creative as some other ones. We do have access to Canva that this tree board has a whole page for. If you guys would like access to that, just let me know. We'll just send you an email. Canva is like the best like little plug and play thing as far as like if you've never made a graphic for a Facebook post in your life, you literally find a template, you pick a picture that you want on there, you just put it in there and it just auto fits it to fit your template. So even if you've never done anything like that before, giving yourself 30 minutes, you'll be able to figure out some stuff that's pretty easy. And then once you get the hang of it, like I can teach you a handful of things, so there's a ton of videos on there. But we'll need to start making some graphics for like the Bradford Pear deal, but also like our spring giveaway, our Arbor Day stuff. We'll need to get a little bit more involved in that, but.
And my guess is that Bradford's will be blooming in mid-March.
Yes.
So probably like kind of launching like the public awareness campaign like 1st of March. I think
That sounds good to me.
might make a lot of sense.
So that gives us all of February to kind of get some stuff together, and then try to get something posted by that first Monday, I guess, which will be March 2nd.
Not to complicate this, but something to maybe think of, like questions that will arise.
Yeah.
With removing them, I know the city will like pick them up if you do it, but if you hire someone,
Usually they
They
won't pick up a whole tree.
well, like like the branch, like when we've had stuff removed, like if you do it yourself and put it on
The whole tree?
if it's like cut up, like
Oh.
presumably
Cause I thought
not
it specifically
dragging the
said
entire
that they
tree.
wouldn't take a whole tree.
Well, but
Yeah,
like
they
if
do
I
ruins.
hire John Doe LLC, they have to take care of it. The
Right.
city won't pick it up. But like if I chop it up and put it on the, so I don't know that we need to tell people that. I mean, just something that I feel like questions will arise from that. Like if we, for those 25, it may be something that's
Who
like more
picks those up? Is
complicated.
that still
but-
sanitation?
It's sanitation. We might wanna get with sanitation and just confirm what they're willing to do.
Yeah, because I don't want to sign them up for more work.
Cause there was,
And I think you maybe have to call
Storm
to
or
schedule
something.
pickup or.
Some of it, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I went and cut down a lot of like just growth that was around my bushes.
They'll take
And, I mean,
branches.
They took all that. and
Yeah,
I
Yeah, they'll
just-
take branches,
there
but
was
I
just a
thought they
certain day
said
that
they would
come and
not,
get.
but maybe if you cut it up enough, they can't tell if it's.
well, I
a
can't
whole tree.
imagine someone's gonna like, oh yeah, I'm thinking like dragging I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna
No, I
drag
thought
like
it
the
was
whole
just,
tree to
I
the
thought
street,
it was
but yeah.
literally
it's
if it was just like a lot of big wood, they wouldn't take
Yeah,
it.
because it's branches
Oh
is
no,
one thing. If you
they've
take the whole,
certainly picked up from cause that tree that you've inspected before,
Yeah.
we have it cut every summer, and it's, I mean, massive logs basically that they're picking up.
do they come and get it with like guys or they use the
It's
machine?
like a claw thing.
So that one may be a bulk. So like if you live in the city limits, you get, it's either 2 or 3 bulk pickups a year. Those you have to actually schedule. And that's how you can get rid of like, hey, yeah, here you go, Conway, here's a little tidbit for you. That's how you can get rid of like mattresses or dishwashers or stuff like that like you don't want to physically pick up or can't physically pick up and put in your truck or car or something. You can just drag those. They tell you what day they're gonna be here. They tell you to put it out 24 hours beforehand, but they'll come and pick up your couch and all that kind of stuff if you want to get rid of that stuff. But that you do have to actually do ahead of time. So I don't know if they'll do that with like a large tree or not. So that is a good thing to ask about.
Will you reach out to
Yeah,
sanitation and check on that, just to make sure?
they're actually pretty responsive on Twitter.
Yeah, just ask them to.
Interesting.
I'll ask them all the time about like one of my New Year's resolutions years ago was to like try to recycle more, regardless if people tell me it's a scam or not. I'll at least try to put it in the right bin. And so I will message them from time to time and be like, "Is this good? Is this green?"
That's good.
I don't know why I'm not that big of a person into that. But like that was something me and my wife did years ago. Whenever we just had a bunch of cans everywhere, and we're like, let's give this a whirl, and that still continues now. So. The second page, so real quick before we move on, I guess, does anyone have any questions about the Bradford Pear deal? And I'll actually ask IT as well. I don't know who all can have access to this tree board email. I know that this is like a shared email, so I think I have it, and you have it as well? Okay, so I'll see if that's something.
Does anybody
that-
else get the tree board emails?
I'm good with not.
We don't get that
You don't get as
much.
many as you would
Yeah.
think, so you actually probably get a lot more hate on Facebook or those kind of questions than you would through the actual email. Alrighty, our next deal is the budget update. So normally, Conway Corp has been awesome with us, and they usually donate $5,000 to us each year. I've sent our donation request to, I believe her name is Crystal. So that has been sent. I think we did get a reply from her, and I think replied back to her. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But once we get that, the way that process works is they will send us a check, and then that'll go to a city council meeting, and the city council will approve to have that go to us. And then until that happens, right now, this is our actual budget ledger that you guys all have a copy of. So it shows that we have a current balance of $741.76. And so that is, but that also is with us already buying all of our spring trees, which we'll get into that here in just a second. So this is kind of what we have right now. So then as we go closer to Arbor Day or dipping into our new business there, if we want to do any more new events outside of these Davy groups, this is how we can help pay for any of that kind of stuff.
I will say we've bought our trees for this spring, but we would need, if we wanna do the spring tree giveaway in 2027, we have to buy those in the fall of this year, so it would still come out of this year's budget.
Yes. So that way everyone has a copy of that. I'll continue to get with Miss Ann on these deals here to make sure that everyone has a updated deal for the budget. For the spring tree giveaway, did we settle on a time last?
We said we would do it on March 21st.
Yes. 10 to 12.
Which I haven't asked the museum, I need to do that, I imagine it will be fine.
Okay.
And did we say 10 to noon?
Yeah, that's what's in the notes here.
Okay, yeah, 10 to noon. Do you wanna know what trees are ordered?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, there could be substitutions, just so you know. But we ordered 100 red bud. Actually, it's 100 of each, so red bud, white fringe tree, wild plum, black gum, pecan, river birch, elderberry, bald cypress, persimmon, red mulberry, Shumard oak, cherry bark oak, and black walnut. I think I did hear back that they had a crop failure on the bald cypress, so I think we're not gonna have those. And I think I told them to add some more oaks to that, because that's what they had. But it's a nice mix of big and small trees with different characteristics, some fruit bearing, nut bearing. Some that like dry soil, some that like wet soil. That's what we try to do.
Who made our handouts for that last year? Was that all Sam?
It was Sam, and I wanna ask her again, cause I think she might do, and cause she should have the template, and it would just kinda be sticking the pictures in.
That way we can have those, and then, like I said, if everyone can be there for that time, that would be fantastic. I won't even lie to you, if everyone was there, that'd probably be more volunteers than we've ever had. If everyone in this room was there, usually we can run pretty well with about 6 or so.
And if you wanna bring family members or friends or anything like that,
Yeah.
we can put them to work.
So like I said, we need to get a graphic going for that.
All this is gonna come at the same time.
Yeah. So like I said, that Davy group will put a little bit of a strain on us for this, for certain little sections. Hopefully, I don't know, how does that look around Arbor Day, I wonder? We should be about wrapped up by then, right?
Yeah, there won't be, the public meetings will be done by, and that's the main thing that they want the tree board's help with.
Yeah, cool. Is there anything else that we need for the spring tree giveaway as far as supplies go?
I think we've got leftover plastic bags, we usually use some paper towels.
Paper towels, buckets of water, plastic bags, that's all I remember, and 2 folding tables.
And then do we have any ideas on what we wanted to do with people who were like, hey, let me get 2 of these, 4 of these? Oh, what is what?
Well, we talked about the need for labels of
Yes.
some kind. And I think we talked about having them label their own, like just so, like have a table off to the side that has labels available, but then they still have to remember, or they can make their labels first.
You get the Ziploc bags that have like where you can take a Sharpie and write what it is on it real quick.
Yeah, we use actually what's called a bread bag. It's not a Ziploc. It's
Somebody
like
gets
a
one of each, we
longer,
just put all 4 in that
Gotcha.
same bag.
yeah.
If we needed to, if we wanted to be that specific, like you said, some of those trees are better for wetter, drier soils. We can do like a little, hey, plant it in the wet area. You can plant it anywhere. You can plant this one here or there if we wanted to get that specific.
Go Lions.
And it's usually whenever someone comes up, especially near the end, and they'll be like, well, what do you got left? And then,
Well, that's what
do
I'm
we get
thinking, they're
6 of
waiting
these or
in
2 of
line
these
before
or
they
something?
come up. I mean, maybe if we gave them some kind of label that they, like a sticker kind of thing, that they could write beforehand, like that, and that can be, because they'll have these menus, we make like a menu, a tree
Okay.
menu. And that they can look at beforehand.
Fantastic.
And it will have some of that, like, this is good for
Okay.
dry soil, and this one blooms in the spring, or, things
Right.
like that.
If it's a small label that's long, so they could wrap it around the trunk and stick
That's
it
what
to
I was
itself.
thinking.
Will we run out of trees? Like, do we want some pine seedlings maybe?
We usually do run out of trees. If we can get a few pine seedlings, people will take them.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
If you want some, I can get probably more than we need, but if
Yeah.
you want some that's filling.
I think it would be great, and that's what we've done in the past when we've had pines. Is we have like a limit on how many of the, I'll call them hardwoods. They're not all necessarily, but the deciduous trees, I guess. But the pines were just like, take as many as you want, because sometimes people do want to make like a windbreak or something
Yeah,
like that.
the amount of people that have come up and said they're building like a fence row basically with
Yeah.
trees was actually kind of surprising for me. We're like, well, here's as many as you can hold, dude.
Yeah.
And then we usually still had a bunch left over.
The great thing about pines is you don't have to put a label on them, they're easy. Tell
All
apart.
the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know, I still don't know what the answer to the labeling. I mean, there's I don't know how expensive those would be. Those twist tie, have you seen those at like a natural food store where you're getting like bulk things and there's like a twist tie and you write like what the product is, so you're getting like oats. Or
Like color coded ones.
yeah, and there are,
Lobby.
yeah. So we could look into the prices of some things like that.
See if this is kind of what you're talking about, Kristen. I think this is what's on those trees whenever we get them from Missouri for the fall. We're pretty close. They have some that are just like white that are a little bit cheaper. It's like 1,000 would cost us about $22, but you'd have to still write what's on there.
Yeah, the ones in the fall are little plastic slip bands that they just marker it on.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Because like I said, I just see those, see if those are what you're talking about. If those work, then we can go ahead and do a budget and then have someone kind of shop around for us and see what we can find.
Yeah. And then we just have to have whatever kind of marker works on it that also won't get smudged with water and mud.
Unless someone wanted to be a real champ, dude, and just take all those and just write red put 100 times. And here's this pal, dude.
Nose goes.
That's not a bad idea.
Where's our volunteers at? We need to throw up some on them.
Because that could be done in advance.
Yeah. And that way we could have those. And that way we just have a big old little bowl or something like that.
I might have Master Gardener volunteers who would be willing to do that.
Sanctioned office hours.
Yeah.
When is that big event thing? I mean, I don't know if it qualifies.
It's in
for that.
February, isn't
It's in February. They usually want to have more like
Physically.
hands-on,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like,
Cause then if you think those will work, then like we.
I think we
can-
should order some of those,
How
yeah.
many do we, so how many trees do we have total? 1,200?
I think it ended up being 1,300. No,
1,300.
and like I said, I guess that if we get pines, they probably don't need,
Yeah, at this point, if we want pines, I can just bring
I think that'd be great,
How many are you talking about?
whatever.
a million.
No, we don't need a
You
million.
need a million.
I think one year we
I'll
had,
just bring a couple boxes.
one year we had 600 and then we did not get rid of all of them, so
Just a few boxes for fillers.
300 maybe, 400, I don't know.
Well, it looks like we would need to order at least 2 of these, and if we do, those could be here, by this Sunday. And that would cost us roughly $44 and some change.
And we
there.
had some leftover money from last year, so we could,
700.
we got enough money right now to cover that,
Yeah.
so.
So we'll take a vote then. Do we want to spend, I would just call it $50, up to $50 for ties for the trees for labeling? We'll need a first and a second.
First.
Okay, Tyler, second. Okay, anybody opposed? Perfect. Alrighty. Then I will get with Miss Ann and see who needs to order those. Once again, if we ever have to buy anything, we just go through City Hall for all of that. So I'll reach out to her and see who's actually, I think either Ryan was buying those or he went to someone else for those.
Ryan usually was, but
So I'll double check.
Ian or
with her.
Tara could do it probably.
No,
I think sometimes Tara bought some things.
I'll check with them. And then these are for the ties for trees. And that way, if we get those in,
I bet I could have some Master Gardeners pre-labeled
if
them.
not, everyone gets
Because
2
then we could
trees
just
and
have those on
get
the-
200 and everyone just write those in
We
between.
have those on
it.
the table, and when they tell us that they want red bud or whatever, like we grab the red bud, and
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
I'm definitely doing some of you guys dirty, because if I'm off the board next year, then they're gonna expect y'all to do this every year, so if it sucks in advance, I'm sorry, but just forewarning there.
Well, and we could put it on the customer to actually put the tie around.
They'll get
Like,
them mixed up though.
they'll get it mixed
We're
up.
gonna hand them the trees, we're gonna hand them the labels, and they're gonna come back.
It's gonna slow us down is the
Yeah.
problem.
It is. Not if everybody shows up.
Yeah, because then we have a whole
We
group.
could have them we could actually have them labeled beforehand, or
If we jump that, if our start time is 10 and we start it, and we get there at 9 and just start labeling trees. Yeah.
It was cold last time in the morning.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking, like your fingers are so cold, like they won't work after a while.
It's always pretty. And how do we get those? Like, do they deliver those to you?
They'll deliver them to me, and then I can get the forestry division to hold them in their cooler in Greenbrier for us.
So we're all
Well, and
good.
actually, the ones from Bauckham Nursery will go to the forestry division cooler already.
Okay.
But the ones from Missouri, then I'll take over there.
Sweet. Okay. Well, then that'll throw us to our last 2 pages in this little handout here. So, one of the things that Tracy did really, really well that we did not execute very well last year was having a good overview of Arbor Day and kind of like our exhibitors and all that kind of stuff. The first sheet that has a lot of detail was Tracy. The second sheet was what Ryan put together for us. So we definitely can improve on that. But this will kind of give everybody a refresher, or for Jonathan and Clayton, this will kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of kind of what all goes into Arbor Day. Like I said, that's our biggest event that we do. Last year, and honestly, it feels like this every year. It always feels like we start so late and there's not enough time. Some of that is true. Some of that is procrastination and of just life getting in the way. Then you're like, oh, that's right, I was supposed to email this person. So I figured, why not go ahead and just start doing what we can now, especially to try to get on some books with certain people. So we can look through these lists here. Some of these contacts we know pretty well. Some of these contacts we don't know at all. But we'll need to come up with what we think we want to do as far as like our community engagement. We've done the poetry contest, we've done the picture contest. We can redo both of those. I mean, this is where it's more or less like an open discussion of what we want to do, if there's any new things that we want to add. I think adding some of the, like, having a lot of the departments there, like police and fire and all that kind of stuff is awesome. Sanitation was there. Getting the animal shelter over there was cool, even though it was technically, what was it, the Paws thing?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. But any other kind of exhibitors that we can think of, or for Clayton and Jonathan, since y'all are the new ones, if y'all know of any groups that would want to participate in those, anybody is free to reach out to these folks. Just remember, when you are sending out any kind of emails or something, that you are representing the city of Conway. So make sure that you don't send anything that if it happened to get sent back to the mayor, you wouldn't want the mayor to read. So just keep that in mind anytime that you're doing anything tree board related. But yeah, we'll just need to kind of start talking through some of these things and figuring out what we liked, what we didn't like, and then how we can kind of expand that. I know Eric has a good contact now with the schools to try and get choirs. It's still probably too early to get a choir for this fall because they'll have that change in school. But I mean,
I'm adding Jonathan and Clayton to that thread that I started for Arbor Day 2026, so y'all are all gonna get that again. But I reached out to my contact at the schools twice over January, and I have not received any word back. But I still have faith. I may have to make an office visit over there just to touch base sometime in February. I'd really like to get through them a hold of a choir teacher before the next school year starts. Because last year when I reached out, I think it was in October, or we finally got around to finding out that the one that we had lined up wasn't going to come. So at the last minute, we were rushing around, like you mentioned. It was either October or September. I reached out to the one at Ida Burns, and she was already booked solid.
Yeah.
And that was right after school started. If we can get a hold of them before the summer so that they can maybe put that in their plans before that school year even starts, I think it'll work a lot better.
And that really helps our attendance at the event too, because you got families that come.
I don't know what else we could do to kind of, because that's an easy boost to getting a school to come in.
Well, I know, we used to do the art contest, and that kind of was through the school, and then you do the awards, and that kind of brought in more families too. So
I wasn't a part of that when we did art contest. What
So
was that
that's
about?
it's actually the traditional Arbor Day. So making Arbor Day posters has been an Arbor Day Foundation thing since it started, I think. They did it like a poster contest. But it's challenging, like, to figure out in an outdoor environment how to display.
That's very true.
Because
It was windy this past one. Very
It was
windy.
windy and
and
cold.
kind of damp, yeah.
It was very cold.
And we had a lot of things going on. It's always youth hunt, so like that one, you don't really care too
It's
much
always
about.
gonna be.
But then like, that was the day after Halloween, which
Hallow-
was super
that-
unfortunate.
Halloween messed us up, but
Super
it's not the day after Halloween.
And then what, the UCA or someone had a parade or something the same day? Oh my God.
Yeah.
To clarify for you two, I just added y'all to a thread that we just created for Arbor Day this year already. So that we can use that to discuss any business regarding Arbor Day separate from any of our other projects. So if y'all want to know if you have any questions, hopefully y'all already received it.
Like I said, so we'll just kind of give a little homework here and just, by our next meeting, let's have some stuff in place or some ideas of kind of what we want to do. And that way we can go ahead and start kind of possibly even assigning some like, hey, let's contact these folks, let's contact these folks, stuff like that. And that way we can get a big jump start on some of these. Cause like, I would imagine a lot of these we could get on a calendar. I don't think that'll be a big deal, especially because we tried to get, who was it? Game and Fish to bring the aquarium, and that was already kind of tapped out. So, stuff like that we could try to use as like advertising and stuff like that.
Do we need to go ahead and reserve the park?
Yes.
Because it's the right year now.
In case I
We
don't
still want to
get-
go with Laurel. It
Yeah,
seems like
it's-
the best spot.
It's nice.
It's very convenient for me.
Oh yeah, I'm not far from
And
it
it's
at all.
central for, I think, a lot of people.
On the choir again for a second, if I can't get anything locked up anytime soon, who were we using before? What choir was that?
That was, I think it was Julia Lee Moore.
Do we have a contact?
Mr. He's the music teacher.
Great question. See if I.
We do somewhere have that information. I should know.
Are we just thinking like middle school and elementary school choirs?
Anybody?
We've usually done an elementary school
Elementary
choir.
school. Okay.
But we could have two.
There's time.
I love the choirs. I think
There's definitely
Yeah.
time.
I actually kind of liked the poetry, but we didn't get as much interaction
I
with
think if
that.
we like told Boys and Girls Club, because I know like they love
Boys
doing.
and Girls Club would be great.
Yeah, we could get a lot of them to make poems.
To do poems? Oh, that's a good idea.
You wanna do it?
So we don't want to stick with poetry then?
I like
But
I'm good with
I
that,
like
a
the
bunch of
poetry, yeah. If you think you can get some more kids to do it, I am all about it.
I think Clint's still over Boys and Girls Club, at least here at Conway.
Yes, sir. I worked there for the summer, and so I know most people there. We could do that.
There might be some other after-school type program, like I even think about City of Hope Outreach, they have some different youth activities. There might be some others.
Like I said, just filter through some of these, kind of look at some of the things that are on here. So, and then for those that were on the board last year, some of the stuff that we did do last year, if we want to try and add those back in. Because I think we still have a ton of those bags left, right?
We should,
Bags
few
and
stickers.
stickers and all this kind of stuff,
I
yeah.
think quite a few stickers.
Where are the, I mean, does someone have those? Cause I do not have them.
I think they're in my storage.
Okay.
Yeah, most of
It's like, they're not in my storage anymore, so.
Which by
I don't
my
know.
storage, I mean the extension office.
Okay.
So yeah, just be thinking about anybody that we can bring in there. And then also, if we do any of these little contests, Secret Nook was awesome last year. They ended up giving us some gift cards to give away for our contest winners. And then before that, we teamed up with Roll and Play, one of the little board game stores, and gave away some games there. So come up with anything that you can think of as far as what you'd want to do, possibly for any prizes for poetry, or if we want to do the art contest again, maybe even getting with the art board and seeing what they want to do. Maybe having some of them.
That's a good idea to kind of just collaborate with them
Yeah.
on it, that like maybe they can kind of manage that part of it, but do it in
Get some
conjunction with
stuff in
Arbor Day.
there.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, getting some of the schools to come in, like I said, I think a lot of people enjoyed CBC especially. They had their little interaction deal, and then obviously UCA always does really good with that little water table.
That water table, but didn't we have an issue with it, getting water there?
We resolved it pretty quick though.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's always just like we gotta figure out how we're gonna get water from point A
It was
to point
awesome. A
B.
lot of us were just kind of stuck there staring at it. Moving little bridges and little trees around. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's
He brought a lot of knowledge with him in addition to the table.
Oh yeah, if you ever see him out and about and you've never like just talked to him about the table, it's pretty cool, even as an adult.
Well, and sanitation's department's display was really good,
Oh, absolutely.
so it fits in really well.
Like I said, I think the firemen were good. I think it would have been a bigger hit if we had a lot more kids there, but if it wasn't 20 degrees and everyone was sugar crashed up, sugar hungover or whatever, yeah.
They had Halloween hangover, yep.
But I think trying to ask them to come back and stuff, I think that'd be good. And usually they have been really good as far as that goes. And then having that generator was huge, because we always have power issues with that pavilion, so,
Was that a Conway Corp?
and that was awesome.
And Jade started talking about a popcorn machine too.
And then kind of tying into our last little bit here, this is for like 2026. So we know that we have a lot of stuff on our plate with that Davy group. But, we used to do like the yogas in the parks. Those were honestly kind of hit or miss. Really just kind of depend on weather and stuff like that. But if we ever wanna go back to doing some of those, last year we talked about doing a nature walk and then just different reasons that kept getting pushed back and forth, so we can always try to revisit that idea again. But we definitely need to come up with at least one or two more things that we can do for our event calendar, even if that is something to where it doesn't always have to be like a little party thing. It could be where we go out and cut trees or whatever the city will allow us to do. If we're gonna go out and check McGee Center again, whatever needs to be done out there, or
Twice last year, we put trees in the ground and I liked it a lot. I thought it was very good for us to do it and very good for our image to be seen doing it. So
Yep.
I think any year where we're not putting trees in the ground is not a successful year for the tree board. So if y'all wanna arrange 2, 3 tree plantings, it can be one tree, it can be a handful of trees. Just get some trees in the ground and do what we're meant to do.
like I said, I can always reach out to parks and see what they got going on.
I think planting trees near benches on public land is always a good thing, but I don't know if there are needs for trees at schools.
I know there were at least 3 elementary schools that applied for that grant that did not get it.
Oh,
so,
really? So that's,
Yeah, so
That's right, that Harold was talking about.
around playgrounds.
so there were 3 Conways.
Well, I know at least 3 because I
Maybe
talked
if
to
I
them, so.
offer to put a tree on one of these schools, I can get a good response.
I don't know why you haven't. It's odd to me why she hasn't responded.
Oh, don't say she. We're not
They.
out anybody yet.
I mean, we could do our own, cause that's the STOP program, the shade trees on
Yeah,
playgrounds
yeah.
that the state does, but they get applicants from all over the state, so.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would be any issue whatsoever to get the trees at the schools. I mean,
Yeah, so we could possibly do our own kind of shade trees on playgrounds that maybe isn't 5 trees for every school, maybe it's 1.
I think that grant was only like 2 for a playground or something. So I mean, it's not even.
It was originally 5, but I don't know if it maybe changed.
How big are those?
They're big.
yeah, they're-
Maybe the only thing
They're
there.
like the big Arbor Day tree that we planted.
The only thing that's good about that though is depending on what teacher, like obviously the school's gonna have to approve that, but we could always have a class come and help.
Right.
Those huge ones
Turn
though are a
into-
lot more, I mean, just 3 to 5 gallons would be a lot more manageable for us to do it ourselves. We wouldn't have to get equipment out there and dig a grave like we had to backfill over at the park.
We still
Well,
have
and
the schools
honestly, I think the
double check.
smaller ones, they transplant better. Those big ones, if you don't water them very regularly, they will not survive. So I like a smaller tree actually.
Budget likes them better too.
And like, I would be down. Like, I'll double check with, City Hall and make sure that we're not kind of overstepping as far as that goes.
Well, here's an idea. I mean, we could do that kind of in conjunction with Arbor Day, like not on Arbor Day, but just, I mean, fall is the best time to plant trees, and I don't know, or maybe that's pulling us too thin, like too much going on at the same time.
Just depend, if we already had trees bought and ready to go, and then we just are picking a day. Now, I don't know if, once again, depending on your work schedule, I would assume this would be something that we would do like during the school day.
Probably,
So-
so we could get kids.
Yeah. But I mean, that definitely seems like something that would be up like just your alley in general. Cause then it could be like a teaching thing, but then like, yeah, I would be down to come out there and help out and talk or whatever. Trust me, I'm definitely looking for some reasons to pay for one. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. And if we're gonna end up paying for a couple of those, like I said, I'll make sure that, the city is good as far as that goes.
Which we could do that like in late September, cause that's at least getting closer to a good time. We usually say, October, November is, it's still so dry. That's why I've struggled with that. I mean, even though that's our like conventional wisdom, November is really, I think, better.
I don't know, so like
We can also plant them in the winter. Honestly, winter tree planting is great.
I know at like Ellen Smith, they have Mr. Rout. He's one of the big guys who does all the like the old community garden things. So even if it was dry, I mean, obviously we would take into whatever professional expertise that you have there. But If we had a school that was already doing a community garden, then at least we know it could get water.
Right.
So.
Yeah, there are several that have active gardens that.
So we could always try to pinpoint whichever schools need a tree or two trees that also have that, and at least have a good starting point there to where then, once again, I'm not trying to add more to a teacher.
Well,
to
and that's
do,
an
but
idea,
It's a good way
is
for like the kids to get involved as well.
Maybe offer it to like 4 or 5 schools a year so that kind of spreads out our
Yeah.
effort and.
Because I could see that
funds.
being a concern with the city in general, so I would just like pinpoint or just pick one school and then ask everybody else. But if we can make that a routine thing of like, hey, this year we'll do 10 trees that'll go to 4 schools or whatever, or 3 schools or something, and that way the next year we can look at those and then do the other schools and then go back and forth, at least with the elementary ones for sure.
Well, you know, when I'm teaching the school garden over at Ida Burns, it's a pretty tight schedule with as little bit of time as I'm given, but I could do a whole lesson on trees and we could plant one. And we could just get one of those in the ground right then and there as part of a lesson that I'm teaching the kids.
I think that's the
If anybody
ideal.
wanna come out for a photo op as part of the tree board, that would be fine as well. I would just need, about 2 or 3 weeks to plan it out.
And given the goofy weather we have here, mid-November till probably mid-March, you're in the clear as long as
Yeah.
it's above freezing below 70 degrees.
Like I said, November, that would give us enough time to then, once the new school year started, to be able to, we can start having those conversations now with a teacher to be like, hey, next year, what do you think about doing this? And then that way we can have that kind of planned and ready to go, and that way we're not bombarding them as soon as school starts.
Yeah. And we could, if there were 3 schools that applied this past year for the state grant that might be a logical place to start, is with those 3 that definitely already have said they want trees.
Like I said, if we're just doing these little 3 or 5 gallon ones that we kind of do, then.
And it's easy to just add those onto the order that we're making anyway.
And it's like, yeah, we're not the state, but we're just trying to help out with the state. We're not taking over, nothing like that, just something for us to do.
Which I can
Just get
reach
some
out to
involvement
Harold
in it.
and find out which of those schools.
Because he's technically on the board.
He's an advisor.
He's technically listed, I guess what I should say. But yeah, so let's for our March meeting, let's definitely have at least something that we can kind of add to our event calendar, whether we want to do the yogas again or and I'll try to get some more information on planning at the schools.
What about doing the art walk? I think it'd be good to get our name out there and arts and crafts or something.
When does it
for
start again?
kids in March, but you apply now for the rest of the year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Now that is where I'm totally new. So what do you, is that something that you're just applying one time or
You
can
apply
do it
once
again?
and you pick all the months that you want to do it for.
Okay.
And if you're gonna do arts and crafts, it's $30 for a booth, but just once, and then.
Okay.
And we did the tree board did art walk once in the
Yes.
past.
Is that where we did you had to make the hands thing?
Yeah, did
Yeah.
leaves
Yeah.
from your hand.
I had a few art ideas. That was fun.
But I think that would be great. And actually, what's nice about that, because we tend to have a lot of stuff in March and a lot of stuff in November. So if we could do that May or June or something, I think that might be a nice way to kind of spread it out.
Well, Gabrielle, do you want to pick 3 months that you feel comfortable that that you could make?
Yeah.
Well, and is 3 what we want to do, or?
We're not doing May.
We're not doing, because
Okay.
Toad's up.
Yeah, and then November and March, those are the busy months, so April, July, and August, or September,
April,
October.
July, August.
And is it the first Friday?
first Friday of the month.
God, heat
July
wise,
sounds hot.
I'd go April, September.
That's exactly what I was thinking, April. I think we did.
I mean, just straight up.
I want to say we did either September or October even when we did it before.
We can do a few. I can get it from, I'll go anyways, so.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So then would you be good with doing April and September?
Is that always, doing
She
trees.
wants to do more.
No, it's okay. I just
No,
I feel like if you wanna do it,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
should just
we're all
let you.
good. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't want you to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm good for all 5 of them, and then get home and be like,
Overextend yourself.
well, actually, I have this trip coming up this day, and then, or I actually just don't want to do it that day.
It's called commitment.
Because and you probably would like some help too.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it all
Yeah.
by yourself.
No,
if they have
Yeah.
like tree board questions, like the really intricate questions. Probably. But I can also do June. If you want to do 3?
I'm certain I can at least show up for one of these things, maybe 2.
We can all come. I'm between everybody. If we can all make one. of those, that'd be
You
sweet.
sign up for what you.
Okay.
And you're gonna be in charge of the craft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um.
Now, if you need to buy something,
Now I was
or
gonna say, do
whatever,
we need a budget?
Yeah. Do you have it for
Just-
what ideas you have? Just throw out.
Instead
like
of just
the-
pressing you right now, put it all together and bring it back in March. And we'll
It's
take it.
already. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So
She did.
You already planned.
she-
Let's go. Let's go.
the first one, because it doesn't have like leaves or anything, it's just like getting a bunch of pine needles and making like paintbrushes to like paint with. So that would be pretty free. I mean, we just need like paint and yarn, but I can get
Fifth
pine
Avenue
needles.
is the spot. You need pine. We
Yeah.
learned that, dude. Fifth
You need
Avenue.
pine cones as well. They got some big ones.
That's
over
the
there.
other one, the bird feeder, but they did that at the Arbor Day.
I mean, the
Well, you
turnout,
can
the turnout
repeat
was so
it,
low, we could
Yeah.
do it again.
Yeah, you can repeat activities for sure.
Like paper bag trees, like you take them, like twist them into making trees. Those are all the ones like we could do before there's plants and like things are growing.
Well, then I guess let's vote on making sure that we all want to do I'm assuming we have to do a vote. I'm still not.
Well, and I think that maybe we should have a small budget for it.
Oh, 100%. But this way, if you actually want to take the rest of this time, I mean, if you know how much money you think you will need, you can let us know. Or if you need some time to like have that by March, then we can go. Because if you say we need to apply for it now, then we need to go ahead and by the end of this meeting decide like, hey, we're good. We're trying to do these 3 months,
We need the
and
$30.
then by our next meeting, we should be fine there. And then by our next meeting, then we can get whatever kind of budget you need to purchase whatever craft stuff that we're going to do.
Yeah, so right now, let's vote on doing the meetings and having the budget for doing the meetings.
$30 for the meetings. I will first this.
Did you say it was $30 just one time?
Just
And-
Second.
Second, anybody opposed? Cool, well, that'll pass. So Gabrielle, if you wanna go ahead and,
I think that's a great event and
Yep.
it's well attended, so we can.
Thanks for this.
so if you wanna go ahead and apply for those, right now we got April, June, and September.
Yep.
And so for the March meeting, I'll have a little deal on here that it'll say new business and it'll say art walk with you. And then if you'll just be able to provide us the actual dates, times that we need to show up versus the times of how long we need to be there. And then however much money that you need for, if you were just trying to add up all those together.
So I think sometimes you have to bring your own table.
yeah, you have to set up. You just get this.
So I will say, we can get tables from my office if we need that. Although I also have a personal one that's a lot lighter and smaller, fits in my little car.
Cool. If there's anything, so with that, and then like, if we wanna figure out what we can do with like the schools about doing some kind of like educational tree planting thing, however we wanna spin that, I think
I'll
between
send
those
another email
two,
in February and probably make an office visit.
cause those, I
Just
mean,
to
that'll be
say
a good
hello.
amount of
That's a
just
good,
events there, and it's not just like some fluffer stuff that we're just doing for nothing, so. I think it'll be good.
actually, I like your suggestion, Eric, that we need to plant trees every year. That's a good suggestion. I hadn't really thought of it, and I think we usually have. I mean, we've always done at least one for Arbor Day, but we usually do a lot more.
It looks good on us.
It does, yeah.
And I just need to figure out what the city's good with, cause like, I
I
wouldn't even
wonder
care.
though, if we're doing these events, do we need a tree board shirt for board members, volunteers? We haven't done a shirt in a while, but you had, I think, like, you said that you could get a shirt made and then none of us.
Yeah, I brought
like-
that stuff to show,
I mean, the
with
stickers
the-
are sweet, so.
Yeah,
those were good
stickers.
Yeah,
Speaking of your graphic skills, before we adjourned, I was gonna ask you if you're interested in doing graphics for the Bradford Pear thing, because I've got a note here just now that we need that by March the 2nd.
Sure. Yeah. March 2nd.
And the
Actually,
spring,
you're
spring
also-
giveaway stuff's by mid-March.
You're also
but-
very good at replying to weird comments on Facebook. in a very humorous and not mean way.
Safe.
Yeah, I can do that. So Bradford Pear, just designs.
The bounty.
Yeah, just the bounty program. Just imagine you're making something just to throw up on Instagram.
Okay.
And if you
Well, I think, it probably needs to have just a little bit of explanation about why Bradford pears are bad. Like, why do we want to promote cutting them down?
Yeah.
if you're taking the project, just shoot us an email with your questions and we'll get those questions answered. There also needs to be a flyer for the spring tree giveaway.
And when it's
I
spring
think
tree giveaway-
I'm gonna reach out to Sam.
Did she do the flyer as well?
Yeah,
I think she did, yeah. So I need to get with her.
and then I'll try to make us up something for
Thanks,
the info deal for Conway Court.
This thing, survey?
Yeah, someone already made that, but I mean, if we're wanting to run an actual like little PDF or PowerPoint commercial thing,
Okay.
we'll try to get something
So
made up
for-
there too.
Yeah, for Conway Grove.
Yep. Well, if anything, it at least looks like we're about to be busy. Whether we are busy or not, at least we have the appearance of it, so. So the main takeaways for today at least is Gabriella, just go ahead and sign us up for the art wall stuff. Krista will reach out to Sam.
Does the payment need to go with the application?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's tricky. You
Um,
gotta get with the city. Will they take a credit card?
I will,
Surely.
Yeah.
who's over the art board right now?
Oh, whoever our city person with the art board, they could probably do it. We just need a city person with the P card, which, are you allowed to do that, Skylar?
I don't know. Like, I technically have one of those. My stuff is like linked to the community center, or it used to be the parks department, so I don't know how
Did
that
Ann
works.
leave us with a, in my absence, you should contact this person?
Yes,
Is it Tara?
I will double check.
So maybe whoever that person is, we probably need to ask them about paying for that.
Yes, but I need to, they did a good job of changing up our website. They have updated a lot of stuff on there, but now some of the links are a little broken, trying to get to some of the boards. So I'm trying to find who's our art. Let's see here, public art. Okay, so Felicia Rogers, whenever you go to the conwayarkansas.gov website, you can go up to where it says, you hit the little three lines, you'll go to government, you just click boards, and then you'll be able to see a list of all the boards. When you go down to public art, you'll see her. That is, just email her and see what she recommends. Because honestly, some of the things that, and like the planning at the schools and stuff, that's who I'm gonna email anyways. She's the chief of staff for the city, and so she's a good person that we run stuff through as far as.
And you might just say that at this board meeting, the board agreed that they want to apply for
Yes,
art wall.
and then
She'll
she should
want to know
help
that
us
there was
as far as
approval.
that, yes. Make sure you tell her that. And feel free to, once again, you can CC Ann on there, CC me on there, whoever you need to. And that way, we're covered as far as that goes. And then I said, Chris, if you'll just double check with Sam and see what we're doing for the spring tree giveaway, I will go through and do, I will email Felicia about the planning at the schools, just to make sure that we're good or what we need to do there. I'll email the parks to secure Laurel Park for our Arbor Day thing. Oh, and Chris, if you'll double check with the cabin as well. And then I will also contact sanitation about the Bradford Pear. And then Eric, you are checking in with the schools on our
Trees for
choir
the
person.
playground, educational tree planting, mascots for Arbor Day, choir for Arbor Day, and was there anything else? I think that was it.
Perfect. And then Tyler, you've got the graphic for the Bradford Pear thing. And then, so Clayton and Jonathan, just make sure that we can come up with anything that we wanna add to, Arbor Day as far as exhibitors go. And then, Clayton, if you just wanna confirm, making sure that you can get some pine trees, then we'll add those in there. And then, I will get with Miss Ann as well to place our order for our little stickers for the trees, for the spring tree giveaway. And I think that pretty much covers us. Like I said, we're just waiting now for a reply back from Conway Corp on the donation deal, which I think I sent that whenever we're in that snowstorm, so I don't expect a reply today by no means. Otherwise, I think we're in a pretty good spot for it being February. And so we at least got a lot of good ideas, and then we just need to capitalize on those and just make sure everybody, if you don't get an email about the meeting on Wednesday for the Davy stuff, once again, if you can't make it, that's totally fine. Just let me know that you got the email, that you're at least included in those, and then make sure that if everyone can try to make it to that community deal at the end of this month, that would be fantastic.
When are the Davy meetings this month? Do you know that?
I think, are they every Wednesday now, or are they
I thought
just
they were every
bi-weekly?
other, but I can't remember if it's
Every other, I believe. Let me look.
first and third or second and.
So the first one is this Wednesday,
Oh, okay.
February 4th at 1:30.
Yep, that's the next one on my calendar. I don't have any more in February.
I do not either.
And I have that con.
So this Wednesday.
Wait, I do February 18th. Yeah,
Wait,
bi-weekly meeting.
that day's loaded up. I see it now.
Yep.
So the 4th and the 18th.
Yep.
So it's first and third.
First and third, and those are at 1:30 via. Technically, it's Teams.
Teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Davies, Tracy Buchanan, one of our previous chairpersons for y'all, she has expressed concern that she's not included in any of our emails that tell when these meetings are and when what these agendas are. I think that if there's a lot of Davies updates or business that needs to take place in our tree board meetings in that month, that it might be a good idea to include Tracy in those agenda emails that you send so that she knows when it is, and if she can attend, that she'll be here, because she is basically she's our chief contact person with Davy. She's in every meeting, she has the most discussion, the most input. She's been involved in this process a lot longer than any of us.
Oh, 100%.
So if we have a lot of Davies business in these meetings, I think we should send our agenda to her as well.
Yeah. I can add that to her.
Yeah, we actually used to have kind of a group that we called Friends of the Tree Board that were usually past board members, and they would often get the agendas and meeting announcements too. They wouldn't always come, but occasionally they would, and they'd show up to especially volunteer activities and stuff.
If I can pull a list, or if someone knows how to get that list kind of handy, I don't mind like just putting them in a
Yeah.
group, and I can send those to some past members, just friends of the tree board.
Yeah.
I can always get with my IT
Because
department.
like Claire Carter, did you know Claire? Because she's done some things even since being on the board.
I think the only person I've talked to that was on the tree board before me was obviously Derek Cox, and then Natalie Arnold, I think is her last name. Those are the only two I've actually dealt with, especially just tree related. Everyone else, I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, I'll look through that.
And we could also, email, like, if we get kind of a group, we could email them and be like, do you want to get communication from us, you know?
Sure. Well, cool. Anybody else have anything else they want to add? Awesome. Well, then do we have to vote to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Second. Let's go.
It can be by consensus, and the next meeting is March 2nd.
Yes. And then on that meeting, so what we've done in the years past, I didn't want to introduce this too early. Was it June, July, August?
It was June and July.
June and July for sure. So June and July, and then usually December, even though depending, we'll talk about possibly voting to suspend those two meetings for June and July. That way, if you are going on any trips or something, because you do have so many absences before you're kicked off the board, and once again, those are in like a year. So if your first absence is the first one in July, you can't miss so many until the following July. It doesn't cut off in like the end of 2026. So we usually suspend those. That way, if you are going on trips, you don't jeopardize your position on the board. So like I said, we won't vote on those now, but I don't want to just introduce those to you guys with it being your first time on the board, that